At the very second you're watching this video, two people somewhere are dying on the job. According to an estimate, around 650,000 workers die every year, either during work or due to work-related illnesses. Today, we'll talk about some of the most dangerous jobs in the world. So dangerous, they can even take someone's life. Number 6. When India gained independence from British rule in 1947, it had to import salt to meet its needs. Today, India is the third largest producer of salt. It not only meets its own needs, but also exports Indian salt around the world. Most salt production in India happens in western Gujarat. In satellite footage, these colorful rectangles you're seeing are salt evaporation ponds. Here, salt workers produce salt using the solar evaporation method under the blazing sun. First, they wait for the right weather when there's no rain. Then they make partitions in the soil to create ponds. After this begins the backbreaking work. To make the ponds solid, heavy rollers are manually moved over them. The more solid the ground, the better salt it can produce. Each pond requires rolling at least 20 to 25 times. In the blistering heat of Gujarat, this full-day labor often leads to dehydration. Now these workers dig into the ground to find brine water. Brine water is water with a very high salt content. With the help of solar pumps, this water is pumped into the ponds. After several months, the water evaporates and leaves behind salt crystals. Working in such conditions is extremely risky, because not only do the workers have to labor under the scorching sun, but the acidic salt water also damages their skin. Additionally, they lose their eyesight at a young age, because sunlight reflected from the white salt is extremely bright and harmful to their eyes. Even after all this hard work, these farmers earn just 30 paise per kilogram of salt. Number 5. The global sulfur industry is worth $6 billion, but the workers who mine it are only paid daily wages. These workers risk their lives to collect sulfur from one of the most dangerous places on Earth. From car batteries, fertilizers, and oil refining, to even sugar production, where sulfur changes brown sugar to white, sulfur is used in trillion-dollar industries. It is also a great plant nutrient. Without sulfur, the agricultural sector could be badly affected, as crops need it for better yield. As important as sulfur is for us now, extracting it is just as difficult. This is the Ijen crater in East Java, Indonesia, an active volcanic crater that continuously emits deadly gases. These gases condense into liquid due to compression underground. The liquid drips through pipes and cools down to form solid sulfur chips. Workers have to enter these toxic fumes to collect the chips. Each worker carries around 200 kilograms of sulfur on their shoulders every day, climbing out of the crater and then walking several miles to sell it in the market. There, they earn 75,000 to 100,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is only $7. According to research, due to inhaling toxic gases and sulfur powder, these workers rarely live past the age of 50. To support their families, these men are forced to risk their lives. That's why sulfur, also known as devil's gold, makes this one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Number 4. A welder already has to protect themselves from fireballs and blasts. But when this job is done underwater, the difficulty increases tenfold. Yes, underwater welding is among the most dangerous jobs in the world. Employees in this field must dive underwater to weld pipelines, ships, dams, and offshore oil platforms. In underwater welding, the risk of explosions and short circuits increases tenfold, and the water pressure adds another deadly factor. According to the Disease Control Department, an underwater welder has a 40% higher fatality rate than surface welders. Also, when welding on ships or oil rigs, fuel leakage can cause massive accidents. Even imagining the damage is scary. Number 3, these limestone cliffs in Southeast Asia may look barren and useless, but they hide something very valuable inside. This bird, known as the swiftlet, lays its eggs inside caves of these cliffs to stay safe from predators. But unlike other birds, it doesn't use twigs to build its nest. It builds its nest with its own saliva. Yes, these nests are in high demand across Southeast Asia because they're used to make a soup that's said to be very beneficial for health. These cliffs are only accessible by boat, and climbing them is not only difficult, but extremely risky. The workers who search for these nests are called bushan doors in their language. Without any protective gear, they risk their lives to climb these rocky cliffs. If there's even a slight misstep or a rock breaks underfoot, there's no chance of survival. The swiftlets make their nests high up in dark and tall caves. After reaching them, the bushan doors carefully look for the nests and separate them from the rocks. Some are reachable, but others are too high to access. Just 1 kilogram of these nests sells for $2,500. A normal-sized nest weighs only 14 grams, and these workers sell it for just $35. In this 2-day mission, sometimes they find 6 nests, sometimes none at all. Number 2. Bull riding is a popular and rapidly growing sport in America and Australia. Professional riders earn millions of dollars through this sport, but it is also considered one of the most dangerous sports in the world. According to a study, out of every 1,000 riders, 32 suffer serious injuries, mostly to the arms, legs, chest, or head, the most sensitive parts of the body. In the US alone, 3 riders die every year from bull riding. That's why it's also considered among the world's deadliest jobs. And now, number 1. Fishing seems like a fun activity, but for those who make a living from it, it's like inviting death. Fishermen cast their nets deep in the ocean. Often, while casting nets, their boat flips, and they get tangled in the net, eventually drowning. Fishing with hooks is no less dangerous. Sometimes, while throwing hooks, they accidentally injure others on the boat. And if they survive all this, it's almost impossible to escape sudden sea storms. The highest number of fishing accidents happen in Alaska. In the Gulf of Alaska, between Alaska and Russia, the crab fishing season lasts only a few days during winter. Every year, around 200 fishing boats participate. To catch crabs, they throw 400-kilogram steel cages into the sea. They place fish pieces inside to attract crabs. The biggest dangers in crab fishing are the freezing cold and icy waters. If a big wave hits while throwing the heavy cage, it could hit someone's head or even knock someone overboard. Falling into this freezing water leads to hypothermia, a condition where the body loses all heat and survival becomes impossible. According to one estimate, 117 fishermen die during work due to such accidents. We hope you'll like and share this video just as much. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you again in another amazing video.